Hey coaches, Coach McKie here. Welcome to my channel. This channel is dedicated to the spread offense. In today's video, I'm going to go over two ways that we run an RPO, and instead of reading a linebacker, we move it up to the next level and read a safety and a corner. Alright coaches, so we have our H-back into the game, and we like to usually when we bring our H-back in, we like to set them into the boundary. So right here I've drawn it on the left hash. Now when we bring it in, if we want to go 2 by 2, we call it king. So this would be king left. The left tells the H he's to the left side. The F is on the right side. And the reason why I like to set it up like this for the most part is teams like to play us too high. And when we put the H in the boundary, defensive coordinators tell their safeties, hey, listen, you have to stay on the hash. So if he's on the hash and the corner's on the boundary, then we have this space that we can use to make them pay. Now, the first way I'm going to show you what to do is if this corner is off, like most of them are, and the safety's here, we like to use a version of our one-back power, but instead of pulling a guard, we like to pull the H. So let's call this bear. Bear, for us, that's just what we call our one-back power. The R tells the line and the running back that we're going to the right. Usually we will bring the guard with bear, but now I'm going to call it bear solo, and that tells the solo tag tells the guard he is staying, and the pulling guy is our H. So our blocking kind of, for the most part, stays the same. Front side tackle, you have head up to outside. Guard, you've got either A gap or B gap. There's a B gap player, so you are blocking on. Center, you've got whichever A gap is has a man in it, so the tackle's here. So we're blocking down. Now the solo tells this guard, okay, you have the same rules if we were running our one-back power to your side. You've got either A gap or B gap. Well, there's no one in the B gap, so you have got the A gap. And they are comboing to that guy. So we got 2-on-1. Same thing, backside tackle, you are blocking on. Now the H is pulling around to the front side linebacker, so he has them. Now if you notice, we have a hat for hat. And that's the beautiful thing about bringing a tight end into the game, is now you can read the third level defenders. And what we tag this, so this would be bear solo, and we tag it Superman. And Superman, S, safety, S. So that tells our quarterback we're reading this guy. So the back's path is still the same, open crossover, banging it into the A gap. Now the quarterback is reading the safety. Okay? This L has a post, and how we teach our post is we teach it third step on the outside foot. Because I found that if you tell them to count their steps, just like 1, 2, 3, 4, most of the time our kids get confused and it messes up. But if you tell them, okay, the third step on your outside, then you break, the kids get it. So he was doing 3 steps to the outside, and then he is banging a post. And we try to teach our guy that if the corner is outside, attack the leverage. Go right at him and make him think that you're going to go left or right and then break it off, and usually it messes up the corner. I know that's not a technical way to do it, but that's how we say it. Now the quarterback, this safety steps up at all. As you are riding the tailback, you pull it and throw it over the head. And we tell this guy running the post that his angle is behind the safety. So if the safety creeps up into the box, then we got a post right underneath, and that's usually a touchdown. If the safety is dropping back, then all the quarterback does is hand the ball off. Now I know what you're saying, Coach McKie, that's great. How do you do that? Well, we rep this every day. We've got a 10-minute period where we rep our inside zone and our RPOs off of that, and our second and third level RPOs, so we get good at it. Now the second question is, Coach, what if this guy comes into the box right here? Well, the way we do that is most of the times we have some kind of key screen, so we would be running our key 2 out here like this. And the quarterback knows that this guy is sniffing, then he just catch turns and throws it out there, and we'll throw this all day. Once he is out there, it's eliminated, then we go to our read right here. Now, in the next part, I'm going to show you what happens if they give us the same lineup, but this corner is now pressed in our guy's face. So let's say you've hit up the post a couple of times, and the defensive coordinator is getting mad that you're hitting it, so he decides to man up this guy. No worries, we can still run a third level RPO, but now we change it a little bit. And how we change it is instead of running our one back power, we run our inside zone and we have our H slip the end and climb up to the second or the third level. This is how we block our inside zone. So our inside zone is called Zorro. So I would name this Zorro slip because the H-back is going to slip the end, Coke. And the way we signal it is, I don't know if you can see this, Zorro slip Coke. That's how we do it. Now our rules are a little bit different. This is how we teach it. We try to keep things the same. So we use the same terminology. So if we're running Zorro to the right, we teach our tackle head up to outside gap. So he's got a guy on the outside, so he's got him. Our guard, we tell him the same thing. You've got B gap to A gap. That's where you're stepping. Our guard, there's a B gap defender, so he's got that guy. Our center, he is getting whoever's in the A gap. So backside's got an A gap, so he is going here. Guard, you're doing the same thing, A gap to B gap. Well, he has no B gap defender, so he's going to the A gap. So we get a double team here, and now they are climbing to this front side linebacker. Our tackle, you're securing your gap, which is the B gap. No one shows, then you climb up to the linebacker. Now slip tells the H, instead of blocking out or kicking out, I'm going to slip past the end, and I'm going to get the next thing that shows. And for the most part, in a too high like this, the next thing that shows is this safety. He is coming up. So essentially, our H has now blocked their safety, which is fine. Coke tells the single receiver you are running a vertical. So boom, you take off. So now it's kind of a little bit tricky for the quarterback because it's a two-part read. First part is this end. He's reading the end. If the end crashes, then he's going to pull the ball and then he runs. If the end just sits there, then he hands off to the tailback who is pressing the center's butt, and he can either go bang into this A gap or bend it in this A gap. That's it. Now, if this end crashes, then the quarterback pulls the ball, and then his next read or his eyes go straight to this corner. If this corner is running off with the vertical, then the quarterback's just going to tuck it and run, and we've had some scores of about 30, 40 to 50 yards. If this corner eyes are in the backfield, he sees the quarterback take off, and then he decides to come up and make the play, then that's fine. You just stop and you just throw the pass to the L, and it's a guaranteed 6 points. And that's how we counteract those games that those defensive coordinators try to do, signaling up one-on-one backside. All right, coaches, so those are the two ways we run plays that read the third level defender. If y'all do something different, please let me know. I'm kind of transitioning into doing this kind of play calling instead of just calling a play action. It actually works for me because I'm too stupid sometimes and I don't know what to call when it's like 3rd and 4th to 6 or 7. So if you do anything different, please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And thank you for the emails that you've been sending my way. I've gotten some great ideas from some of y'all. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. I try to put something out every week. And until next week, remember to continue mastering the spread, scoring points, and having fun.